Welcome to my channel and welcome to this reading vlog. This is a part of the historical romance readathon I'm participating in and me vlogging my weeks as I read for the readathon. So today is Saturday and you catch me packing for a little girl's weekend trip. It's not like a getaway trip, but we're all going to Staten Island to see our friend Elena. She invited us over to her place in Staten Island. So a bunch of the girlies from college that all know each other through basketball, we all played ball together, are heading to her place to hang out. And she invited us to like sleep over, so it's becoming a sleepover. So that's what I'm doing this weekend, and I'm very excited about it. Obviously, since this is a reading vlog, let me talk to you a little bit about books. So I'm gonna be packing my Kindle, and I have 2 books I'm in the middle of that are historical that I'm excited to continue reading this weekend and for the rest of the week. And I'm also just gonna be packing a cute little mass market paperback book to go along with me. So I've picked the Beverly Jenkins Nighthawk book. This apparently is a standalone, I believe. So I'm excited to crack into this. I'll probably read a bit of this on the path. I'm taking the PATH train into New Jersey, and then my friend Megan and Simi will be picking me up because Megan has a car, and then we're gonna drive together to Staten Island. So I kinda gotta get a move on. It's noon already, and I still have to eat lunch, and I wanna finish all my packing and stuff so I'm ready as my priority to like run out the door to meet Megan at like 3:45. So the books I'm currently reading on my Kindle are Liar Witch. I know, I've been talking about Liar Witch a lot throughout the last couple of vlogs because, I don't know, I'm just reading it kind of slowly. It's okay. It's sitting at like a 3.5 for me right now. This is a reverse harem series. This is the second book in the series. Obviously, you know a lot about it because I've been talking a lot about it if you've been watching my vlogs. I will say she's had another interaction with one of her mates, like, you know, a steamy scene, but because there's so many men and just like, I don't know, the writing, I just don't get a chance to connect deeply with these characters to like really care when they have these intimate moments. Like, yeah, sure, steamy bits are fun, but like I need that emotional push. I need that like extra emotional power to like make those scenes have its full potential where like I'm really invested and I'm like obsessed with it. So for example, the guy she was just, you know, having a steamy scene with, she hadn't spoken to him directly since the first book. So when they like have their first conversation in this book, she's just like ready to get down to business right away. And it just felt really jarring and like not personal. It just felt really awkward to me and like maybe cold that like we didn't even get to see them have their banter or reconnect since like not speaking since the first book. And just like, it was just weird. He's just trying to get to know her. He's like nervous or whatever. And she's just like, let me just, you know, attack you physically because I want you. Like, it just, I didn't love that. I'm like not as into it as I want to be. And I really want to like it because my friend Hannah Blackwell really likes this series. I'm a little bummed about that. I think the focus on the outside plot is like taking up more time, which is fine, but also it's just taking away from that development between the characters, and that's what I love about romance, is getting that growth and emotional connection and just like intrigue with the relationship and the banter and the tension and the pining. I love all that stuff, and I'm not getting that as much. It's just like, oh, here's this plot I really care about with like the broader world and like the evil villain, and then also she has like 6 mates, so she's freaky with them, but like I don't really like know them. Like, I don't know. I know the men as like individuals, but I don't know the men and their reasoning for loving her so much. Like, obviously, yeah, there's the mate bond and stuff, but like beyond that, I'm like, you don't really know her because she doesn't give you enough attention. I mean, it doesn't matter. Some of the characters get more attention, like the vampire's gotten a lot of attention, but this siren that I've been talking about, I'll just spoil it that it's the siren. She does not give him enough attention and they just go into the scene. And I'm just like, I don't know, it's just like a little disappointed. But we'll power through. We'll see if it gets better. I'm still really curious about some of the more mysterious men in her little harem, like the Fae guy. He's very mysterious because he doesn't really talk because of this curse he has. So I'm intrigued by that. But that's enough talking about that, honestly. I'm also reading this book called Demonic Prince. This was on my TBR. Look at me. Oh my god, I'm reading my TBR. This is about a dragon shifter female and like some kind of demonic male. I mean, it says demonic prince in the title, and I think in the synopsis it mentions that he's a succubus, but like as far as reading goes, I don't officially know that yet, and I'm 9% into the book. I don't think it's too long. It says I only have 4 hours and 15 minutes left to read it. So I'm intrigued to see where that goes. He's captured her. He like used this magical chain to like force her, like she was a dragon. He's like facing her and he's able to like wrap this magical chain around her, and it forces her to transform back into her woman shape, and it also like takes away her dragon powers and stuff, so she can't feel like the fire in her gut or whatever. And for some reason he like needs her for something, but he won't tell her what it is. Actually, I think he's trying to like open some kind of magical lock that like needs dragon's fire, but I don't know anything else beyond that. So he's like kidnapped her pretty much, and they're on this little mini adventure, but we haven't gotten that far. She doesn't know what he is besides the fact that he's a demon. He's got like claws and like horns and stuff, but there's been no mention of the succubus part yet. And on top of that, our dragon shifter female woman, her name's Pyra. Like, why is her name Pyra? Like, come on. Like, I guess she's a dragon shifter, but come on. Like, Pyra? Apparently, she's going into heat for the first time ever in her life. So she must be, like, decently young, considering she's, like, an immortal dragon shifter. So, yeah, she's, like, having these weird reactions to this guy, and it's, like, setting off her, like, first heat. And hopefully they have good banter and tension and pining, because that's what I'm looking for. And then when it comes to Nighthawk, I really don't know that much about it. Apparently our main character's name is Ian, and his beloved wife was murdered years ago, and now he's a bounty hunter. And then there's our female character, Maggie, who I believe is on the run, and Ian is trying to catch her as a bounty hunter. And it's their relationship. So we'll see. I'm sure she's innocent of whatever crimes, or like it's justified, I don't know. But we'll find out when I hopefully start this. I don't know if I'll finish this in this vlog. My two main priorities are my Kindle books, but that is enough for now. I'm gonna keep packing. I'm gonna vlog a bit when I'm with my friends, but I don't wanna make them uncomfortable. If they don't like it, I'm gonna ask them if it's cool if I vlog around them, but like they're not internet people like that, so it'll probably just be like montagey cute things. So that's it for now. I will update you as I, continue my packing and go on my little girls weekend getaway in Staten Island, and when I have significant reading updates. So let's keep it moving. I gotta go. All right, I am all packed up and ready to go. Omar is here. Chase and Omar are gonna be hanging out today. I got my duffel and my suitcase, and I decided not to bring the air mattress because Elena said she has two, and I'm not carrying it. It's too heavy. So I gotta go. See you in Staten Island. Hi, so I've been reading more of Demonic Prince. I'm 76% of the way through. It says I have about an hour left. Sometimes I like it, and other times I'm like, ugh. I'm like oscillating between a 3 and a 3.5. This book gives me a bit of whiplash. Like some of the conversations the two main characters have with each other are so contradictory within like a couple sentences. Like at one point, the demon guy will be like, oh, I can't be your mate. Like, I don't want to be your mate. And then the next couple sentences, he's like, you're mine. Like, I've already claimed you. And it's like, wait, didn't you just say you couldn't claim her and that you didn't want her to be your mate, or like you couldn't be her mate? So I'm like, what? And it's like their same conversation. And then the dragon woman will be like replying to him on another conversation where he says he didn't think he was worthy of her. And she's like, you are worthy of me. But then, even though he hasn't said anything to like necessarily change her mind in this conversation, she'll suddenly change her tune and be like, I deserve somebody better than you. And it's like, what? Didn't you just say he was worthy of you? And then all of a sudden you're like, I deserve somebody better than you? Like, it's very whiplash. Like, it's very confusing. So I don't like that. And the plot is kind of strange. Like, I feel like it's supposed to be a journey kind of story where, like, they're supposed to be traveling to this place to, like, rescue this person or whatever. But they make no progress doing that. And their relationship progresses, like, pretty suddenly. But it's fine. I guess it's, like, a fairly short book. It is a tad insta-lovey, even though they're not, like, fated mates or anything, as far as I can tell at this point. So yeah, but they have added other layers to the story, like another male has shown up that could be her mate and stuff, which adds like intrigue and like complexity into their relationship and stuff, which I find interesting. So I'm like, oh, maybe like a 3.5. But like she still really wants the demon guy, and then he's like, I want you, and then she'll be like, no, I don't want you. But then in her mind, she's like, I really want him. And it's like, then why do you guys keep rejecting each other? It's so confusing. And then also the way it's written, the author kind of uses the same sentences over and over again. So she'll say something like, oh, I try not to let my heart flutter at the flattery. And like she says that over and over and over again. I'm like, can we just describe it differently to like mix it up? But I mean, I'm having a fun time. It's fun overall. I think it's a standalone, so we'll see how this wraps up. Also, I have to update you on how my girls' weekend in Staten Island went. I had a fantastic time. We got dinner at like a Mexican place. We sat outside, had drinks, chatted, caught up because not a lot of us get to see each other very regularly. And then we went to just like a local bar across the street and had so much fun. For me, like, I don't really care about going to bars that much anymore, but I love spending time with the people I care about, so I'm always there for the company, and I always want to make sure people have fun, so I always act a little goofy and extra, and that's why I end up dancing like a crazy person, because it makes people happy, it makes my friends laugh. It's just, I gotta be fair, like, I love a bit of the attention they give me when I act ridiculous like that, so I was not like out of my mind drunk or anything, but it's just like fun to be outrageous. So I had a blast doing that, though towards the end they were blasting the music so loud it was like miserable. It was like over 100 decibels according to my Apple Watch. And then I actually added an art piece, this one here, to my collection because Elena's son, who is 5, like paints a bunch of things. And I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. I'm like, I'm making a collection. Like, I would totally commission an art piece from your son if he wanted to make more art. And she's like, oh, you can have this one if you really like it. I was like, yes, please. That is so nice. Because he has like so much. So yeah, he made that with his like soon-to-be stepdad. And I thought it was just really cool. And it just continues my collection of independent artists. There you go. So that's what the art piece looks like. I've added this black one down here as well. That's something I made years ago. I just stuck it up on the wall. So there's my little gallery being formed. We like toured around Staten Island of like where Elena grew up, like went to see her private high school and like her haunts and stuff, like where she spends a lot of her time. So I thought that was cute. And yeah, it was just great. Let me also update you on what's been going on in the Discord for the Historical Romance Readathon this week. I will say I kind of dropped the ball a little bit. So there was another poll, and it was just like some face emojis. Our team picked the inquisitive one with like the eyeglass. I kind of dropped the ball and I forgot to make time to vote. Like I saw it, but I didn't do it right away, and then I forgot to go back to it before the results came in. But the team did well, and we got a positive reward this time. So this week, take a trip to the Modiste. We got 50 positive points, which is so great. And then we also have a new challenge. So we have been cordially invited to Lady Highgrove's mythological ball. So by Friday, today is Tuesday, I have to post a picture of my favorite goddess to the Discord or to Instagram. I'll probably do it on Instagram. So I definitely have to do that ASAP. I'll probably do that today before I forget. I haven't really read much of Liar Witch. Running out of steam on it, to be honest. And I haven't picked up that physical book I mentioned earlier. But I'm determined to finish The Demonic Prince and Liar Witch for this vlog. I really gotta finish Liar Witch. I don't know if I'm gonna continue. I'm so disappointed in myself for not loving it that much. So that's all the updates I have for now. I will catch up with you when I'm doing something fun or have made more progress reading. Guys, I got a fun package. Fun for an adult. It's not like actually fun, but like I'm really excited about it. And I kind of want to set it up, but it's high risk. It's this thing called Spruce. My friend, Parth, actually his cousin or something owns this company. And it's like a renter's friendly shower head system that comes with like all these attachments and stuff. It's super cool. I'll show you. Out of me and Chase, I'm the one that usually is like the handy one. So I will be building this shower thing. Wow, is this like an ad for Spruce? This is not sponsored at all. Like it is my friend and I would recommend it. I'll link it down below, but like I just bought this with my own money. It was on sale when I bought it, which was nice. I'm very excited. I did it all by myself. So the main part of the shower is done and I'll do like the cute little attachment thing later after Chase showers and stuff because it needs like 12 hours to set and all this stuff with the glue. But yeah, it's really nice. So I'm quite pleased with myself. I'll do the rest of it later and I'll show you. Yeah, I finished putting up the shower caddy thing, I guess you could call it, and I did it all by myself. I'm a plumber, I'm a handyman, I can do it all. I'm an independent woman. I'm so proud of myself. But check it out. I added the pole thing. The piece de resistance, if that's how you say that, is this, which is a magnet, and it can hold my phone. The only slight thing that's disappointing with the magnet, you have to put a metal circle on your phone, but once you put the metal in, it locks on so nicely. Like, look at this. And then, boop. I used it last night for my shower and I was watching a YouTube video just like this, and guys, it's everything I could have ever dreamed of. I'm gonna be a DIY homeowner one day once I have a home because I'm so capable. Hi, so it's been a couple days and I have a lot of updates for you, reading and challenge-wise. So for the historical romance readathon, let me catch you up on the happenings of my team, the Blue Stockings, and how our Miss Amaya Reed has been doing in her romantic pursuits this season. In the last vlog, I had mentioned that one of the challenges was related to Madame Butterfly's performance in the Opera House, and we finally got the story for that. For our character, and in the poll that previous week, we had gotten some kind of negative news. Our poll had resulted in a negative point situation where we risk our reputation. The Opera House and that risk tie together into the story. So let me tell you what Lady Howlip Society papers reported on. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen so you can pause if you wanna read it yourself. But overall, Miss Amaya Reed was at the Opera House and she was talking with Miss Sandrine Mugglestone, and she was just kind of like getting annoyed with this girl. She was like chatting her ear off. So Miss Amaya Reed goes off on her own to like kind of get away from that chick, I guess. And she walks past this mysterious opera booth. And before she can even gasp, she's pulled into this dark, mysterious booth and a hand swiftly covers her mouth. And it turns out that it's the Viscount Lanchester, this big, broad, intimidating gentleman, right? With gray blue eyes, so hauntingly familiar. His rich voice whispers into her ear, "I won't let you get away this time, Amaya." Excuse me, what? Amaya freaks out. She like stomps his foot. She's like trying to get away from him, and he's trying to hold on to her, and they fall to the floor out of the booth into the public space on top of each other. And Lady Daniela Dusnap seizes the moment to basically call out Amaya and say she's improper and all these things, like ruining her reputation, all before the ton. The Viscount helps our Miss Amaya Reed to her feet and says, please, I need your talent. And she's like, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But she sees this look in his eyes, and with a mixture of shock and curiosity, she says, call on me tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with them. Like, what does he know? Do they have a past? I have no idea, but I'm like so intrigued, and I love how dark and mysterious he is. And it's like, yes, she risked her reputation, but it was so much fun. So as thrilling as that was, we keep pushing forward. I told you about the mythological ball I needed to submit my picture for, so let me show you what it was. I ended up picking the Nemesis God because I wanted to just pick something that was different. I didn't want to do something that people had already posted about, so I just picked one that was like really obscure. Apparently, Nemesis was the ancient Greek goddess of divine retribution. As such, she meted out punishment for evil deeds, undeserved good fortune, and hubris. So I love that. I love this picture. She looks so badass. And yeah, I thought that was a fun little challenge. So I submitted that and logged my 50 points. I think it was 50 points. And I decided to keep them for my team. My team is feeling super confident that we're gonna potentially win. We were in first place in the first results update, and then I think we were in second place for the second results update. I haven't seen any other results updates. Patricia has been crunching the numbers with some of the other team members. Patricia is my co-captain. First off, she's fabulous. Check out her Instagram. It's all linked down below along with my other co-hosts. But yeah, she's pretty confident we are gonna win this, and I just gotta keep reading and inputting my books. So speaking of books, I did finish the 2 books I've been reading in this vlog. That physical book I didn't end up picking up at all. But let me start off by telling you my final thoughts on Demonic Prince. Couldn't really tell you. I almost forgot that I read it in this vlog. I had to start editing it just so I could have an idea of what I had previously talked to you about. And I was going through the footage and I was like, I read Demonic Prince. I completely forgot, which says a little bit of something already right there. All right, so I ended up giving this book 3 stars. It was fine. I got this off of the Stuff Your Kindle Day, so it was just like a free ebook that I picked up. The one thing I will say that I liked about this book is that it was focused on the romance first, which is what I prefer in my romance books, and not like as much of the adventure stuff. But the adventure stuff was so brushed over that it was almost unnecessary. So like in the beginning, the demonic prince guy is trying to save his sister, so he needs this dragon woman to help him, and just how that storyline is so neglected and like resolved so easily is a little silly, but it was fine, I guess. I did like the interactions with the couple overall. I have to admit there were parts that I ate up, like just like their banter and maybe in like the will they won't they aspects, and just some of like the one-liners of like how much you can see our hero wants our heroine. That's always fun for me. So they were really high points, like 4-star level lines, but then there were lines that I was like, guys, what are we doing? Like how I mentioned earlier about there being contradictory statements between the characters, which was more like low 3-star vibes. So I just gave it a solid 3. Would I recommend it? Sure. Apparently there's going to be another book coming out soon with this same couple, I believe, but it's definitely not necessary. You could read this as a standalone and be done with it. And yeah, I mean, it's just a 3-star book, so I don't have that much else to say. Then I finally finished Liar Witch, and I got to the hallway scene with the twin shifters that Hannah Blackwell, my friend who recommended this series to me, was like obsessed with. She was like, yo, wait till you get to the hallway scene, and it lived up to the expectations. I kind of forgot she said that because I've been reading this book for so long and we had talked about that a while ago, but once I got to it, I was like, oh yeah, this is what Hannah was talking about. It was so funny. That was a fun, steamy time. This book is very different than the Demonic Prince one because it mainly focuses on the overarching adventure stuff first. And the romance is a little weaker in my opinion. She has a lot of men in her harem. She cares deeply for them and stuff, and they all have these tragic pasts and scars that, you know, you think she's gonna help them through because of their mate bond and stuff, that they wanna like be better for her and all this stuff, which is interesting, but the author doesn't go that in depth on that stuff, which I wish she would. I want that emotional impact a little bit more. So it's just so slow when it comes to the emotional aspects, understanding their backgrounds. Like, that's the mystery part I'm really intrigued with. I want to know what went on with the twins. Like, what is with this circus and they were being captured, and like what's with the Fae guy and how does his curse work, and like what was he like before the curse. I want to know those things more. I want to know more about the vampire and his past, and like what happened to his coven or whatever they call it, and why are they all dead. Like, those things I want to know. I want to know those like personal, emotional things, but instead we're just going to random places to solve this like queen problem, but it doesn't like take us anywhere emotionally that much. It feels like it could be a little bit more fleshed out and a little bit more organic, but because they're mates, like the guys are just so willing to be like, yeah, I'm good with her. I just feel like there should be more emotional growth shown on page. I'm still curious about our characters. It's just so slow. It's so slow. Like, yes, there are steamy scenes, but they're just not having as much emotional impact as I wished. And learning more about the guys is so slow that it's hard to get that emotional impact because I don't have all the information. And I want to know what happens to these guys, and I want to know their history, so that mystery is still intriguing. So maybe I will continue, but it was a bit difficult for me to get through this book. Like, as you can see, I've been reading it pretty much from the start of this vlog series, so for like 3 weeks or so. I don't know if it will be worth it for me. All right, so that's all I have for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me. I know this one isn't necessarily as flashy as maybe some of the other ones have been in the series so far. The weeks have just been escaping me. I don't know what I film half the time. So I'm gonna be a little bit more cognizant for week 4. I have a strategy for other booktubers out there. My new strategy for vlogs is that I'm going to write down the things that I've filmed and talked about in my notes app. That way I don't lose track. Because especially with ones that have like a structure to it with like the updates on the challenges and stuff, it makes it a lot easier to know if I've told you something or if I missed something. Or if I'm doing fun stuff, what fun stuff have I vlogged? Is there enough fun stuff in the vlog? Anyway, that's a rant. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, feel free to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'd greatly appreciate it. Obviously, it helps out my channel. And if you want to spend more time with me, you can find me on Instagram at being.daphne. I post on stories fairly regularly. And if you want to chat with me, I'm very good at answering DMs. So feel free to reach out and let's be friends. So that's it for this vlog, and I will catch you in another video. Bye!